July 17th, 2026, our next lesson. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's not super hot. It's not going to get more than low 80s today. We're going to take the alpaca boys on a walk again on this 6-acre ranch with their halters on and just Tavis leading them. And Thor is going to go along in his leash, and I'm going to hold on to the leash and hope to be able to video an A+ trail walking session today. Our last session yesterday was A+ for both alpha and beta. We're just not expecting any surprises, but you know, when we actually do go out on the trails, we can't anticipate everything and anything that will happen. So we're using my 6-acre ranch now to make alpha and beta realize that when they're on halter lead with their bareback pads on, we are directing them as to what they should be doing. We want their focus. I have my clicker with me as they do what we've asked them to do. Even though I'm busy videoing and busy leading Thor, I'll click if they're doing what we want them to do. We tied Thor temporarily to this finish line fencing cable. Make sure that he won't object to being tied. We're not going to take him in his buggy because that's going to be pretty hard for me to move as we move. So, you'll be seeing us with Thor taking the alpacas anywhere and everywhere on my 6-acre ranch in halter, and hope that they will be good boys and get A+ grades. So now I'm going to walk carefully. See, the ground here is not easy for an 82-year-old lady to walk. I'm going to loosen the lead line, the leash for Thor. I'm going to walk out here carefully, hoping not to be too jittery with my camera hold. I'm going to go here in the shade, and we're going to try to follow the alpaca boys with their lead trainer Tavis on our walk on the 6-acre ranch in the ranchos. It is a sanctuary site. We've taught them a lot. They have access to most of the acreage here. You can see that we have, and I've shown you before, irrigated pasture, trying to keep it cut, mowed, and green. All right, they're walking out beautifully. Now, I am going to walk with Thor. Of course, he's doing what dogs do on trails. Oh, he found another bone. Last time he was out here, he had a bone in his mouth. I have to move the camera in order to get the leash in my left hand. Yeah, he is doing what dogs do. All right, if he can take it with us, he gets to bring it with us, because we'll be standing still in certain places. And if he wants to put it down and chew on it, he's doing it right now. We're in the shade. There are the goats. Now, there are another reason I'm not ready to go out on the trails, because I know they'll want to follow us, and I don't want them to think that it's okay for them to go outside my perimeter fences unless they're on leads, which I have already ordered. It's on delivery from eBay, a goat halter. If it works well, I'll order another one, and we're going to start working with the goats to train them to go with us where we choose to go. Okay, we're going through the gate that's close to the white tub. Thor is very, very busy with his bone. I'm going to carefully, I hope, walk out to be close to the alpacas to film them. Are they going to be good boys? I am optimistic that they will be good boys. Oh, Thor dropped his bony. Okay, I'll bring him back here later to see if he can find it. Goats are rubbing themselves against the fence. I'm carefully walking on uneven ground with some high grasses. And if we fall behind because we can't go fast enough, that's okay, because we'll still be getting there, we hope. And we're not in a rush. That's one of the reasons I left Santa Cruz. I had a very, very nice lifestyle in Santa Cruz, but as the years went by, and I lived there for over 2 decades, everybody seemed to be in a rush. Needless to say, I was getting older, and I didn't want to be in a rush in my old age. Okay, there go the boys. They're very attentive. And here are the goat boys. They're with us. And we're going to go in the back area where they're used to being without a lead. And we're going to ask them for focus even when we're there, even in the sheds. We want them to realize when they're on a lead line, they must focus on our requests, not their innate desires. Okay, so we're going to carefully walk here. The goats are playing with each other, and they don't mean to hurt anybody, but when they're playing, they don't realize what's happening around them. I already mentioned this on my last video. They did knock me over a few days ago, and luckily I could get up okay. And Thor got loose because he was on leash, and he turned around and stood there and looked at me, and he essentially said, "Okay, Mom, aren't you coming?" He didn't run. He could have, but he didn't. I'm going up a steep incline here, but actually Thor's helpful because he goes up easily and helps pull me up. Okay, now we're going into where the alpacas consider their home. Thor is wrapping around my legs here, so I have to turn around to unwrap. Okay. So far, the boys are getting A+. I very much believe in grading. I've many times mentioned that I've been tutoring math, and I'm a credential math teacher since 1983. And when the schools stopped grading, we had no idea that the kids stopped learning. And the trouble is, they moved on, they went to college, and the college professors and bureaucrats realized that they didn't learn what they were supposed to be learning back in high school, middle school. I'm locking the gate with a chain. Okay, challenge them however you can. They're supposed to focus on your request. There's a tree stump. Okay, can you go into shed 1? Go in and come back out. And it is a little bit warm in the direct sun here, so I'm carefully walking out to the shade. And this grass is green because we do irrigate every morning. Okay, will they go into the shed without resistance? A little bit of resistance from Beta. Okay, and that's why Beta is called Beta. It takes them a little longer to learn things and be willing. Uh-oh. See, that's what I was worried about. They're going into their shed. They know that shed, but they're saying, no, I'm not going with my leash on, with my halter on. And because we don't want to be knocked over if they get away from Tavis, we're going to walk farther back here. There's the second shed. We're going to try that shed too. And we're going to turn around here. My railroad tie posts for my finish line fencing are in concrete. Yep. Even, oh, there he goes. There went Beta. He went in. Okay, we may have to practice this. We may have to get some repetition going here because they're not realizing, which I wasn't sure how it would go when we brought them back here with their training gear on, what they would say about doing what we're asking them to do, focusing on our request. Can you get Alpha in there? I think he'll go. Oh, Alpha, yeah, excuse me. Now Beta. Right, I got a different color bareback pad just so we could tell the difference. Alpha has the blue one on. Beta has the black one. I'm going to carefully walk over here. I have to say careful all the time because old people worry about falling down. Rightfully so. They rightfully should worry. Okay, now, Alpha's tied to one of the cross tie loops. Beta's going in, okay. Click. Beta's standing nice, tied to the cross tie post. I'm going to assume that Tavis will then head this way. So, being that I'm in high grasses, I'm going to hold on to the panels that we have here. Thor is going with me with his leash. He's trying to wrap around my legs, so I'm in the shade. I'm going to turn around here. I wasn't sure how they would behave. Let's see what they do with shed 2. It doesn't have as high a ramp as shed 1 does. Okay. Alpha went in. Beta is resisting. Beta went in. Okay, next we will, but first I have to give them the reward. Click. Good boys. Now it's up to Tavis which route he's going to take to shed 3. Okay, he's going to go through the back pasture. I'm going to move Thor out of the way. And that's why I had to move the camera out of the view of the training. But now we're going to go into their back pasture. There's a lot of shade here. They like to hang out here in the late afternoons because it does get irrigated. It is green. Back there by that telephone post, we know it's over a little bit. It's right behind this tree. We have a gate to the Ranchos trails. And we've gone in and out of that gate to take them on the Ranchos trails in the past. Now this is going to be a challenge for me because the grasses are high, the branches are down. I have to carefully walk to video. But I know they're heading for shed 3, so I'm going to head for shed 3, and I want to show you something that I've done as an old lady. This is a pipe strap. Where I think I need to have a strap to hang on to, I had my helpers install it so that I could hang on if I fell off. Don't forget to go into shed 3. Okay. This is our older training area, and we'll probably be using it for the goats at first. I have 2 carts here. Those are too big for the goats to pull, but they're not too big for the alpacas to pull. I'm going to get something that the goats can learn to pull with wheels. Okay, we're headed for shed 3. How are they? Okay, Beta is resisting a little bit. It's not a steep a ramp as was shed 1 entryway. Okay, now they're in shed 3. They're standing there, walking in, turning around, not seemingly stressed. Okay, now the rest of the route is up to you. Challenge them as best you can. And when you think we're done, it doesn't have to be a long lesson. We're just gonna video what we were able to accomplish. And Thor and I are we'll go through the gate as well. And we have water tubs very close to the sheds everywhere. I've said this before, we close this gate at night so that the goats, the alpacas can't go out into this area at night and into the big pasture because I don't have lights and cameras here. And I am very concerned about neighborhood dogs and wildlife coming here at night and causing injury or any problems with my alpacas. Okay, now Thor is extremely excited. He's pulling. Every single moment he has on the leash, he just usually loves it. Okay, we're gonna go back to the tacking area carefully. You see the high grasses. At least it's shady here, so we can see better. Okay, now the alpacas and their lead trainer are there behind the 5,000-gallon water tank that collects the water that my well pumps up into the tank so that we can irrigate. During the day, they have access here, unless for some reason I've closed the gate. They're eating, they're not stressed at all. So far, the only stress time was in shed 1. We may try that again another day. We'll see. We do each lesson plan, one plan at a time. How did they do on the last one? How do we want to challenge them on the next one? Okay, here they come to the tacking area. And I want to show you what Thor has done. He doesn't realize it. He has wrapped his leash around my legs. And I'm holding onto the panel here. It's not that easy for me to step over him, especially when he's pulling on my knees and my legs. So we're going to stay in the shade. He's pulling. I'm going to lift my leg over, Holding on. Lift my leg over. Okay, we're back at the tacking area. For those of you who haven't been following the Urban Alpaca Show, we've been tacking over there, closer to sheds 1 and the hay shed. Then I said to Tavis, no, we've got to make a tacking area here close to the big pasture, because our objective is to tack and go out into the rancho's trails and have community people going with us and enjoying themselves going with us. Untacking was uneventful for Alpha. Now, how will untacking Beta be? Oh, is that the black one or the blue one?
Black.
Black? Okay, so this is Beta. Since they were sheared, it's hard for me to tell from a distance who's who. They're each a different alpaca breed, and when their fleece gets long, you'll be able to see, as I will, more easily who's who. Oh, and the goats, they just go anywhere they can, underneath, whatever. Okay, Beta is fine. I am not going to down their grade from an A+ just because of what happened in Shed 1. I'm not sure yet why it happened, but we did get their compliance in a short period of time, and we will be thinking about and arranging for more practice for the alpacas to go with us into the sheds and onto the trails safely for walks with people and goats who want to go too. All right, you take Thor, and I am ending this show. And please, if you have any questions or comments, either post them on YouTube or email sonyasokolow@gmail.com. SONYASOKOLOW@gmail.com. No caps, no spaces. Goodbye for now.